Hello, my name is Aprille Walker from the Yoga Ranger Studio, and today's Instant Zen self-massage practice is all about the quads and a little bit of the hip flexors. So if you're not familiar with this area, the quads run from about your knee all the way up into a little bit of your thigh in that section. So this is this whole section up through here, and a little bit of your hip flexors on the front side. So we're going to massage those out. When they get super tight and stiff, it can be exceedingly painful. I have had that happen. But if you take the time to roll these out, you will find that they will, number one, not hurt as much, and number two, prevent them from seizing up and hurting in the future. It's a great way to release some of that tension in the front side of the body from sitting long periods of time or driving in a car long periods of time, which tends to make this front side of the leg a little bit sore. A couple of things you're going to need. A block if you have one. If you don't, a large dictionary or book will work just as well. A couple of tennis balls tied off in a tube sock, knotted at the top, or these are called yoga tune-up balls. I will put the link down below if you're interested in getting these. They're a little grippy and they come in this little bag. They have a little bit of grip action, so they tend to work a little bit better than a tennis ball, but tennis balls will do just fine. So we're going to come down onto our bellies. You're going to take the block or the book that you have lengthwise as long as you can make it and put those tennis balls or tune-up balls on top of there. So we're going to start kind of high up. You're just going to rest at the very top right before you get to your pelvis. You're just going to rest this area on top of it, okay? So you're going to have to kind of find a space to sit in there. We're just going to start with just hanging out rather than moving, because this is usually enough. And then you can start to inch your way up. Now here, if you want to do a little bit more, you can lift those knees off the floor and just start to rock back and forth like a little plank, but you're supported by that block or book. This way you can shift your weight in and out so you get the entire part of the quads and that hip flexor area. Drop those knees down. You're going to shift that whole collection of stuff down a little bit further. About midway, drop your leg in there. Once again, you can lift those knees off the floor and just rock back and forth. So lots of people say, why not use a foam roller? I do indeed have a foam roller. I tend to not use it as much though, because I find that the tune-up balls or tennis balls get a little deeper because they're smaller and they're not flat. So a roller is flat and my body is not flat, so it doesn't tend to work as effectively for me. Start to move yourself up a little bit further if that's easier for you instead of moving the block. Just rock back and forth. Get as close as you can to right above that kneecap. You can even slide a little bit to the very top of the kneecap. Sometimes that's a very sore area. If you find a super sore area, just kind of hang out there. Go ahead and come off that side. We're going to switch sides. So once again, move this way up. We're going to start high up, right where the leg meets the hip. Find that spot. Just hang out here. Put all your weight over there. Once again, you can lift those hips off. That's going to put more weight. And when you engage the muscles a little bit to lift off, it's going to feel a little different. Take a few breaths here. If you include the self-massage techniques into your daily or weekly practice, doing one section at a time, so you could do your quads one day, your hamstrings the next day, your back the next day. It's 10 to 15 minutes of time, huge prevention of pain and tightness. Slide down a little bit so that your body moves up and the tune-up balls or tennis balls move down. Start to rock back and forth, or just hang out in that space if that's a super sore spot. Once again, you can tilt your hips side to side and get different areas. My IT band on the left side is always a little tense, so I tend to slide to the outside to kind of get a little massage on that as well. Start to slide yourself back up again. Get a little bit into more what we call the belly of the muscle. In this case, muscles. Your quadriceps are indeed 4 different muscles. Maybe getting down toward that kneecap if you feel like you need that. Adjusting your body or the block and the tune-up balls down or up, depending on where you need them. Just slowly, you don't want to go super fast. You want to move slowly through these areas and tilt out and in a little bit. Now you can, of course, do this longer, spending time in each space, if that's what you want to do. Go ahead and take those tennis balls or tune-up balls out of the little package. Now, because my hip points are a little bit closer together, this works. If yours are not, you can just put these on the floor. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down and I'm going to take this ball and put it right in that space in between, a little bit closer in, between the leg and the pelvis. And I'm going to put all my weight on it. So if you're in a little bit closer, you're probably hitting your psoas, because I know I am right now. Your psoas muscle runs from your back down through your pelvis into your leg, attaching your leg to your rest of your body. Very important. Tends to get a little tight and fussy sometimes. You can shift your weight a little bit to move them up just a little bit more. This is those moments to really breathe deeply and notice which side has more tension than the other. You'll begin to see a pattern each week. If you're feeling a certain way on the left side, it's probably because you have a lot of muscles on that side that are a little cranky. Maybe move up a little bit higher, straight toward the middle of the pelvis or so, right inside those hip bones. Take just 2 more breaths here. You can just feel it release there. You're going to take those balls a little bit wider. So here I run into problems being on this block, so I come all the way down. And you're going to take it a little bit wider. So maybe out a little bit more toward the edges and just hang out here. Now you can lift your head, shift your weight back into your hips, and you're going to put more weight on those if you feel like that's okay for you. Go ahead and slide up. The balls move down. You can always definitely tell when I haven't done this in a week or 2. Maybe you rock a little bit side to side, real gently. Slide up a little bit more. So just like in yin, myofascial release, that's what this is very effective in preventing injury, helping release the toxins in the body, so it's a great detox. It's also really great for post-workout recovery or post-sports recovery. If you ask any athlete, they will tell you they do stretching out and rolling out. Everybody would love to say they have a massage therapist in their house, but not everybody does. This is your way to get that same effect without having to pay for that massage therapist or in between massage therapy. So go ahead and move yourself up a little bit higher. So if this is painful, I completely am with you. This does not feel good for me. You don't want it to be so shockingly painful that you cannot breathe. And if it is, then you're going to move the tune-up balls higher or lower than the spot that is really, really painful and just kind of move around it. That'll help release the tension in the muscles around it. So eventually that spot will let go. It is uncomfortable, sort of like yin. Yin is not a comfortable practice. This is not a comfortable practice either, but it's very effective. Slide up a little bit further, and we'll probably stop here. So you can, once again, you can kind of rock side to side, just shift the hips back and forth. Go ahead and lift yourself up. Take those balls out in front of you. And just real quickly, we're going to take like a little top of the knee rub here. So you're going to take that ball and just kind of rub around the knee all the way around. Just a little extra today. I'm going to keep those knees. And you'll find some spots that are sore. I always kind of find a spot. I'll just sort of rub it around that area. The spots change from week to week, day to day. But just doing like little circles, rolling around and around the knee. It's really helpful in kind of releasing some of that. Soften the knee up, switch knees. Same thing here, just move it around, little circles. I'm right-handed, so doing anything left-handed is weird. My right hand always jumps in and says, this is more efficient if you use me. So roll down a little bit further. There's some little bursa sac that's right here in the front that tends to get a little sore for me. Maybe for you as well. Or maybe it's the outside of the knee, just because of what you do in your day. And then take those off to the side. Stretch your legs out, wiggle the toes around. Give yourself a little rub down. And you're good. I hope you enjoyed this practice, or at least it makes you feel better. I always say maybe you won't enjoy it, so don't say anything. But if you like these practices, please like and comment down below. Let me know your thoughts or other places that you would like to see some kind of myofascial release self-massage techniques. I'm going to kind of move through the body, which is what I've been doing with the different practices. So if you're looking for more of these, they are called Instant Zen self-massage. I have them for many different parts of the body. Probably next one, we're going to move a little bit more into the upper body. So look forward to that, and I hope to see you again soon. Have a great day.